What is going on, guys? In today's video I'm gonna be sharing with you about paths beyond a PhD, what I know about them and what I think are the pros and the cons of these options. Welcome to the first video of the year. Sorry, it took me a little while because during the day I've been writing and during the night I've been going to the lab. First of all, look at this beautiful 1K sub. Thank you so much guys for subscribing. You guys made me feel like I've accomplished something. I haven't done that in a while, and not only because I've reached this little goal of mine that I set up for myself last year, but also a small community was formed on this channel. New prospective students are finding each other right here, and it meant a lot to me to know that this little channel of mine is actually helping somebody out there. Alright, let's get back to our content. Because it's my final year, I thought it's time to start thinking about my next job, although I don't know what it's gonna be yet. I've been talking to friends in the industry and I have already been contacted about a postdoc opportunity. This video is gonna sound a bit random. I just want to quickly share with you what I've learned over the past few months about life after a PhD, which may or may not be a lot. Also keep in mind that this is coming from a physics grad student perspective, but I kinda hope that this might be applicable to a wider range of audience as well. Life is kinda like this one RPG game I played when I was a kid. You started off being born into this world and you're a novice for like 1/4 of your life. You kill shitloads of exams and hunt for professors that are supposed to be in their office during the office hours. Then you level up to qualify for your first job when you get your undergrad degree. It doesn't really have to be an undergraduate degree really. For the purpose of this video, let's say that it is. And let's say you decide to do a PhD out of all the sensible options you could have possibly chosen from. And in this RPG game, your PhD will be your first class job. Depending on where you do your PhD, you might get to kill some more exams, continue to hunt for professors, and fight some lab ghosts. And after defeating this big monster in a game called Thesis, you would level up enough to convert into your second class job. And this is where you have to make a big decision. Since we are gonna have a lot to talk about, so I decided to stop for a coffee. By the way, this is Piccolo. I think this is equivalent to a cortado in the US, just in case you ever stop by Australia and wanted a cortado. It is called Piccolo. There we go. And for those who might not be familiar with options beyond a PhD, there are two main routes really that you can possibly take. There are academic routes and the industrial route. An academic route would mean you become a postdoc after your PhD, and each position takes about 2 to 3 years, and you do this a couple of times. And hopefully you level up to become an assistant professor or something. And an advice I got from my advisor David McCallan was, you shouldn't be a postdoc at the same place you do your PhD. If you want to move up in the world of academia, changing institutions shows growth, and moving to a different institutions would also mean expanding your connections. Connection is what got me a job at Hanford. Connection is what got me a PhD position here at ANU. Connections are crucial, and I'm glad I realized this early on enough, because ever since I was a kid I never wanted to have anything to do with people ever. That is why I chose physics. But once you start on academic route, you don't necessarily have to stay there until the end. You can decide to leave for an industrial role whenever you like. A handful of people that I know that are now either working in a Silicon Valley or have worked there in a Silicon Valley had done at least one postdoc. An advice I got from Daniel, who's been with LIGO since its inception, was that a good postdoc position should let you take charge of something. If you are hired to be under a thumb of some professor who just want you to do labor jobs in the lab, don't do it. Let's talk about industry. Slowly moving into industry topic here. Having a PhD, especially a PhD in physics, you are equipped with a wide range of skills that you yourself may not even appreciate, but it is something the industry is looking for, apparently, because you can build, you can conduct your own experiment, you can analyze your own data, you can write a program. You would actually become a rare breed of human being once you graduate. Well, because guess what? There are people in the industry who does only one thing for 15 years, and that is all these people know how to do. To break into the industrial world, after a PhD, one of my friends, Tobin, who used to work in Google, suggested that doing an internship is a great way to build connection. Internship is basically an extended interview process. If you're doing an intern at a place you really want to work at for a long time, and if you're doing a good job during your internship, chances are you're gonna get hired, because that's a no-brainer. Why risk hiring anybody else they don't know? Internships in the Bay Area is paid, that's what I was told. Otherwise, as I mentioned, a few people that I know went straight into the industry right after one postdoc. If you want to work in the industry at some point, having done one postdoc is not necessarily a bad idea. An advice I got from Andrew, who worked for Apple for 5 years, was that a good postdoc position would be the one that gives you responsibility to supervise students. It shows that you can work with people, because apparently that is what you do in the industry. And when you look at the job openings in the industry, chances are you will feel underqualified. Most things aren't going to be the exact match of your skill, especially those jobs that have like insane requirements that ask you to have more years of experience than you have ever been alive. Tobin's suggestion was it's worth it to reach out anyway, because maybe the company will find you interesting, and maybe they will find another position that is a better match for you, or maybe they decide that you're good enough. That's it, guys. That's pretty much sum up what I know about life beyond a PhD at this point. It's something that I wish university or an advisor would tell me more about, and I hope these informations are useful for some of you guys out there as well. And if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you help me out by hitting that like and subscribe button. It would mean a world to me, because this channel is my baby and I would like to see it grow. And the more likes I get, the more subscribes I get, the more YouTube will spread this video around, and hopefully more people will run into this channel and maybe will find this information useful. And that is it, guys. I will see you next time. 1,000 subscribers! Thank you, guys!